It's about being a woman in a man's world. Men have certain advantages. I'm teaching you how to even the playing field.
So when it comes to the Tejadas, there's always been a chain of command, but a chain which has shifted from person to person, because in season 1 we were introduced to Monet as the head, with Kane, Drew, Diana and Zeke. But regardless of Monet calling the shots on the outside, Lorenzo was making the big decisions from inside prison. But this sort of shifted towards the end of season 1, and it was actually thanks to Tasha St. Patrick.
Living in the shadow of your husband? Mine, he made me a lot of promises, and I believed every single one of them. But every choice he asked me to make led me to losing my daughter.
So Tasha, coming from a relationship with Ghost, who is the biggest goddamn drug dealer in New York City, knew sometimes a queen needed to call the shots, and there were plenty of moments in Power where Ghost actually had to rely on his queen. For example, during the Felipe Lobos murder. So as we entered season 2, we start to see Monet making some big decisions, but what complicated Monet's thought process was her endgame, Zeke Cross, who happened to be her firstborn, and in the background she failed to realize her kids were rebelling against her plan of using Zeke as their way out of the game. For example, it was no coincidence Drew dropped her plan to Zeke, because he knew exactly what he was doing, because Zeke would never go with it. But on top of the rebellion, she was being distracted by Dante Spears, who happened to be none other than Zeke's father, and this complicated things even further, especially considering he was able to offer her protection in a way Lorenzo couldn't. And to make things worse, she was creating this plan which didn't either involve Lorenzo or Kane, but all of a sudden she had to change everything based on Lorenzo being released, because where she had specific positions for each of her kids, Lorenzo had his own ideas, and he was putting this in motion pretty much straight away. So we saw Monet taken aback, because she was used to calling the shots for over 10 years. She was the one who was watching and observing her kids, and knowing what Drew was good for, she was nurturing and teaching Diana how to level the playing field in a man's world, and in essence, molding her to be a miniature version of herself. And with Kane, she had him playing the muscle to the Tejadas, but all of a sudden we had Lorenzo who was changing things, and this complicated things for everyone, not just Monet. Diana was able to go to school, but she wasn't able to hustle and do what Effie does. Kane wanted to keep the connect for himself, because this gave him purpose in the Tejada organization, and in turn, this gave him power and control. Drew wanted to live a normal life, and Monet wanted out of the game. So you're beginning to see a pattern with the Tejadas. Everything's dysfunctional. They each want to do their own thing, and a lack of communication, honesty, and trust played a huge part in the chaos we saw at the dinner table between not just Diana and Monet, but every single one of them. But what was the major driving force was Monet's lies she'd been keeping for over 20 years, as well as Diana dropping a bombshell. So now that we've understood just how dysfunctional the Tejadas are, let's talk about the relationship between Monet and Diana. And it's a relationship where we've seen Monet mentoring Diana from season 1 into season 2, and this is why she was annoyed, because Lorenzo was getting all the credit for the way Diana was playing the game.
I know how to hustle.
Damn, Renzo, you raised the boss.
And Diana definitely noticed Monet's face of thunder. She wasn't impressed, because 1. Lorenzo didn't raise Diana. She may be daddy's girl, but Monet's the one who raised her. And 2. Diana went behind Monet's back, with Lorenzo being released, which fucked up a lot of shit for Monet. And if we've established one thing from the analysis at the beginning, every single one of the Tejadas loves control, which is the name of the game in the Tejada household, power and control, and at this moment in time, Monet had none. So this is where we saw the first threat which Monet made to kill Diana.
Get the fuck out of my house before I kill you in here.
And this really was a catalyst which caused a little chess game between mother and daughter. So we saw Monet making her move and basically saying, okay, if you want to go to school, I'm gonna let you go, but it's gonna be somewhere which is far away from Tariq St. Patrick, because she knew Diana wanted to go to Stansfield just to be closer to Tariq. So in response, Diana started to drip feed secrets which would eventually cause chaos, and she started by telling Lorenzo how Monet had an exit plan which didn't include him. But Diana didn't stop there. She started digging into Monet's text and noticing a text from a mystery person, which she then started to piece the puzzle together as to who it was, when Zeke told her a guy named Dante Spears claimed to be his father. And when she overheard Monet speaking to Dante, this forced Diana to dig even deeper and uncovering Zeke's birth certificate. But before we get to the dinner table scene, Diana actually did give Monet a chance to come clean one-on-one, but this chess game that they were playing, neither of them wanted to lose, and you could see how much alike they were, because after all, Monet is the one who nurtured Diana. So it led to the bombshell being dropped on the dinner table, and then we saw the second thread.
Now you've been lying to us our whole fucking lives.
But surely Monet would never really kill Diana, especially because all Monet's ever wanted was to protect her kids, especially after Drew was shot. We start to see Monet becoming this overprotective mother, trying to have them leave the game as soon as Zeke's career allowed them to. She even warned Diana very early on in season 1, don't get involved with Tariq St. Patrick, because whoever gets close to that boy either ends up dead or in jail. And I do wonder, will Diana ever regret getting close to Tariq? I think so. So let's just spin this and have a look at the other perspective, where Monet could actually follow through with her thread. And to just give this some background and context, Mary J. Blige was on the Crew Has It podcast, and they confirmed they were filming episode 10 of season 3. But she just finished a scene which was kind of heartbreaking, which was clearly a death scene where she had to kill someone who she didn't want to kill. Now, Lorenzo is the obvious choice for obvious reasons, but could we see a scenario where Monet could actually kill Diana? Because after all, she did threaten to kill her not once, but twice. And I would like to say no because of the reasons I gave, and we've only ever seen it in Power once, when Kanan killed Sean, but I don't think we can never say never, because we just don't know what's gonna happen in season 3. Because if Diana has proved one thing to us over the course of season 1 and 2, she's not afraid to go behind Monet's back, and she is someone who's beginning to become very dangerous, because she's someone who's now learning very quick. She was the first to uncover Mecca and Zeke, and also Kane's powdered sugar move, but she didn't stop there. She wasn't afraid to use these secrets to her benefit. For example, when she told Monet about the powdered sugar move, she pretended Monet was mad, so she could tell Tariq she was the one who smoothed it over, which in turn made Tariq owe Diana a favor. So we're starting to see Diana really switch on and doing what's best for herself, and I wouldn't be surprised if this trend continued into season 3, with Diana finding out Lorenzo was the one who killed Zeke, and again, holding all the cards to cause even more chaos with the Tejadas, which could even top the dinner table scene, because I do think if someone was to find out, Diana's gonna be the first. But regardless of who Monet kills in season 3, I think the death predictions for me when it comes to the Tejadas are Lorenzo, and seeing as Ev is tied to Drew's story, I think he's an easy kill which would just send Drew down this further dark path. I can also see Kane doing Kane things and increasing his kill count, as well as Drew when he has to, but I'd also be intrigued to see whether Diana picks up a gun, because there was a very subtle hint of Monet mentoring her on how to load one, so let's see if she finds herself in a position where she needs to use one. But that's a breakdown as well as an analysis based on Monet, Diana and the Tejadas, so drop all your thoughts down below, especially when it comes to Monet's threat to Diana. Do you think Monet could really kill Diana? Drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and of course if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.